Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? I would keep going with that line if I knew it, but I don't. Happy 2013, y'all. Yes. Kids and wives are 9 to 5s, but we are married to the games. First episode of the new year. We're excited to be here. I can't believe it. 2012 went by way too fast. And now I got to wait another 4 years for the Olympics. It's okay. I love them. I hope you guys are doing good. I'm doing good. Everything was safe. I know Router is off on location. Hall, I think, is at home. Router, where you at?
I'm in New Jersey, bro.
Nice.
Jersey.
What's been
right
going
outside
on
of
with
New York
you?
City. Man, we Happy New Year, first off, to everybody.
Yes, sir.
And we hopped after Christmas. We hopped in the car on Sunday and drove up here to New Jersey. We got in a little late. We got in at like 5 a.m. on Monday because our friends Randy and Bran had a little baby boy, and we had to see him before we left. And congratulations to Randy and Bran.
Oh yeah,
Beautiful.
congratulations. That's awesome.
Yeah, beautiful boy. And so they were in the hospital, and so we packed up our car that morning, went down to Vanderbilt, saw them for like a half an hour, 45 minutes, and then we just bolted from there. So we didn't really leave until 2:00 on Sunday afternoon. And it's with Piper, it's a 14-hour drive, maybe 14 and a half. But holy cow, she was so good. I mean, she was sleeping in the car, and mommy was in the back with her iPad mini and just hanging out. And we just drove, and we were thinking about stopping. And then we got to this point where we were like, nah, let's just keep going. There's no point in unpacking to stop at a hotel and blah, blah, blah. So we got into New Jersey at 5 a.m. And man, I was just listening to podcasts the whole way, and it was all video games all the time, and it was great. It was so much fun. So
kids and wives and 9 to 5s
it
and video games.
Exactly. So Lauren's like, can you put the speakers up front so I don't have to hear this? I said, sure,
Yeah.
no problem.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So then we were in Brooklyn for New Year's Eve, and we were with our good friends, the Woglums and the Triplets. So we got to see them and our goddaughter, and we had a wonderful meal and watched the ball drop, and we could actually see a lot of the fireworks from Times Square, and there was fireworks kind of all around. And the Woglums have a really beautiful apartment in Brooklyn, right next to the in between the Brooklyn and Manhattan Bridge. So if you go to one window, you can see Manhattan. If you go to another window, you have to peer a little bit, but you can see the Statue of Liberty. And they were shooting off fireworks over there. It was beautiful. And we were nice and warm, and it was freezing cold. And all those poor people who were stuck in Times Square, freezing their butts off, waiting for the ball to drop, we were all saying suckers.
Yeah,
so it was great.
right.
I ain't mad at him.
I ain't mad at him. So
That was early
so
this
now
time.
we're just hanging out, and I brought my PS3 up because my in-laws they at least have a TV, so I have to use composite, which is a little tricky to do to game since I'm so used to nice HD. But at least I've got some games that I can start working on, and because I'm stressing out over all the games I have to play.
I told Tim his eyes would be glossed over from straining them.
Oh yeah, there's just next couple of weeks. There's just gonna be a glaze over my eyes because I have so many. And on top of it, I added a few more. I downloaded Journey because it was so cheap. I haven't played it yet, but I at least have that. And I also downloaded, because it was free, BioShock 2. So just add that to my pile of things to play as well.
Gracious. What was the first thing you popped in there when you got up there?
I'm still working on Borderlands. I really want to try and complete as much as I can. Really starting to get my groove on now, and start to get into the story and continue to level up. And it's a lot of fun. Man, there are so many guns in that game. It's hard to keep track.
Yep. That's the beauty of it, though, man.
So,
you just keep going. You just keep getting better guns and getting rid of your old ones.
Yeah.
I wish they had a quick, easy way to sell your junk, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought too when I played. I was like, man, I wish I could unload these weapons for a little bit
right.
easier of a way instead of running all the way back to what's his name.
Especially when you start off, because you don't have a whole lot of inventory space in your backpack. Once you once you level up, after you level up to a certain point, you get more space. So you're stuck with like these guns. So you kind of have to leave them, but you also want to sell them because you need the money to buy newer, more improved guns. So
Yeah, they
but
should
it's
just
fun,
have a
and
way to
I'm
like
just
sell everything under a certain level. Just like sell everything under level 20 because I'm level 25, or something like that.
right, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know what the
That'd
hell.
be
Yeah, so
useful. That'd be useful.
but
I
I've been
got you.
doing a few things kind of in reverse because I've been doing some main missions, and some of which are maybe one level higher than me, but I can still beat them. And then I go back and do these side missions, which are like 2 or 3 levels below me, and I'm trying to get as much money and XP as possible. So the ones that give me a reward and give me some XP, I'll play those side missions. And if there's any others that it even says it says status trivial because you don't get any reward and you barely get a whole lot of XP. So I'm like, forget it. I'll just not do that. But I'm really into it, man. It's a lot of fun. But I'm still stressing. I want to really try and get it done because my next game is Far Cry 3, and I'm dying to get into that.
So would you
There you
say
go.
that now it's 2013, would you say that Borderlands is Tim Router's 2009 game of the year?
2009 Game of the Year. Yeah, I would say that. I think that's safe to say.
I can't believe that
definitely
game is that old now. That's so weird.
I know. It's still really good looking.
Oh,
It's
no,
like
it's
I like
good.
it's a different style. It's a different style first person shooter, and I like it. It's very cool. So I'm excited for Borderlands 2, but I will probably take a break because I need to do some Far Cry.
Oh yeah, speaking of, mine's coming in the mail too, so we'll have to play multiplayer.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
There
That'd
you
be real
go.
fun. So
Well,
yeah,
I'm glad you're up there
So
and
think
safe.
of-
Is it freezing cold?
yeah, it's cold, man, but it's nice, and we're gonna stay here for the rest of the week, and then we're not gonna come back until probably Monday. So we got some time. What we really want to do is just veg and just chill out for a little bit because Lauren's been running and gunning at the store. She's still sick. I'm still a
Ugh.
little sick, and so we're just like, you know what? Tomorrow we're just gonna do nothing. We're gonna be with our baby girl, and we're just gonna hang out. And I'm gonna try and play as much video games as I can without getting in trouble. And then, and it all will be good.
Y'all need to take some tussin.
Yeah, right.
Some
Rub some
bro-
tussin on that,
Yeah,
man.
I was gonna say
We've
if you
been
stay
taking
sick,
anything.
if you stay sick long enough, man, something bad's gonna happen to you.
Well, poor Lauren. I feel so bad for her because she's been sick since Thanksgiving because she got pneumonia, which we didn't really know it was
Oh
pneumonia until
yeah,
like
that
maybe
does
a
put
week
you out
or
for a
so later.
while. Let me think
Yeah,
about
and
that.
then she got a head cold on top of that, and now it's like she can't. The poor thing can't catch a break. She keeps coughing, and her lungs just are. Yeah, it's just crazy. And she's already had shots. We've been to the doctor 3 times, and it's just one of those things that you kind of have to work out. And I just feel so horrible for her.
Yeah, you should
Dang it.
make her relax then.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I told her that. I said, babe, you sleep in till whenever you wake up. I got the baby. I'll take care of everything. You just sleep in and chill out.
There
That's
you
what
go.
we're gonna do.
So prayers for the
Yep.
Router household.
Yes, please.
Timothy Hall, I hope you're doing better than they are.
Yeah, I'm not sick or anything. I got sick. I think I caught something for like a day or two after I think it was like the day after Christmas or something. That was it.
Lucky.
So I'm a healthy boy, I guess. I don't know.
There you go. How's your
Um,
week been since Christmas?
Well, I started playing some games. Like I was thinking, like, oh, I'd like to get through 2 or 3 of these or something, but I think I only played XCOM and The Walking Dead. I mean, I played
Nice.
a lot of XCOM.
Do you feel the end
So-
is near, or do you feel like it's still far off?
I'm probably halfway through, I think. I don't know. I'm pretty powerful in the game. People were telling me that game was hard. It's really, I don't know. I don't find it very hard. I mean, I'm playing on normal difficulty. I mean, I usually play games on normal anyway. I probably could have played
course.
this on hard, though.
Really?
So,
had a
despite
problem.
Yeah,
the-
you don't never know how big the jump is, though. I've played some games on normal and went back and played them on hard, and I was like, no, wait, that's ridiculous. That's a big jump.
Yeah,
Yeah.
after one hit, you're done. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, forget it.
No, I think XCOM is one of those games that's a little bit different because I don't know if I bet the difficulty only affects like the life bar of the enemies or something. Because it's one of those games that if you are very good at managing your resources, you can just pile drive the game. So
I got you.
I mean, every time I go into a mission, I don't think I lose anybody anymore. Like, when you start out, you definitely lose people, like, in the beginning, because your soldiers, I mean, they don't have very much hit points or anything, and it's like you're encountering these instances where you can die in one hit, so you'll lose people early in the game, but after you've upgraded stuff, like, I haven't lost anybody in a while, so... Man, that game is so cool, though, because once you've got recruits and stuff, like, you level them up, and they get personalized, and they get their own nicknames and everything. It's pretty neat.
Oh, yeah. You said that the computer does it on its own, right? The game does it on its own?
It just gives them, like, nicknames. Like, I've got, like, a big guy that's, like, he's, like, a heavy class guy, and I think it gave him the nickname, I think, like, Tank or something. I thought that was pretty neat. And, like, it gave, like, I had this girl that was a support, and they gave her the nickname Rogue. So, like, it kind of personalizes them, so you start to get attached to your little characters. And if you lose them, that's it. Like, if you go through a mission and they die in the mission, they're gone for good.
Wow.
So you could have been working on that character for, like, 15, 20 hours and then lose them. So,
Are you still liking it, though?
Oh, yeah, I love the game. The game is really a lot of fun, and it's one of those games where you want to keep playing, like, a mission. You'll start, like, playing a couple missions, and you'll be like, oh, just one more, one more, and I'll go ahead and put it down, and then, about 5 hours later, you're like, oh, okay, I think it's time to stop.
So walk me through the game. Is it's a turn-by-turn game? Like, I never understood how XCOM worked. It's because I hear it's strategy game, it's turn-by-turn, but how does it work? Is it kind of like a chess game, but it's more animated?
No, it's, well, similar to a chess game, but it's not like any movements are gonna it's not it's kind of grid-based, but not really. Like, it's more of, you've got these characters, and each of them has different things that they can do and different distances they can move and all that stuff. So when you're moving out in the field, it's kind of a little silly, because even though you've got characters moving out in the field, everybody has to wait their turn. So, like, you could be right next to an alien, and you have to wait one more turn to shoot him, stuff like that. So,
can you move and attack?
Do what?
Can you move and attack, or you can only move?
Yeah, you can
attack?
move and attack in the same turn if you only move a short distance. But then you've also got snipers who can shoot from further away. So it's like, they have this perk where if any of your characters can see an enemy, then your sniper can snipe them no matter what. So, like, I use that perk right away. Like, I gain that perk right away with my snipers, because once I've got that, I can shoot somebody across the way, with the sniper.
Yeah, you can pick them off.
Exactly.
So
that's great.
Question.
Yeah.
For me and Tim, I've never played any kind of game like this before. I didn't play Final Fantasy Tactics or anything like that, which I think is kind of the same thing in the sense of the moving and turn-by-turn thing. I know a lot of people love it from the old school side of things. So neither of us have that. Would we still like it? Because I've never played anything even kind of like it, and I watched a lot of reviews and watched a lot of gameplay, and I was like, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying? And I still really didn't know if I would enjoy it. Do you think the regular layman would like it?
I think so, and I think when I finish it, maybe I'll let Tim borrow it and see.
Yeah.
I think anybody can like it. That's why a lot of people got attached to it, even though they don't like strategy games.
Right, and that's an interesting point, because when I was driving up, one of the podcasts I was listening to was Giant Bombcast End of the Year. They always do an end of the year wrap up, and they talk about Game of the Year. And Gabe, that was the #1 game of the year for all of those guys. And those are exactly, and those are heavy hitter, heavy gamer guys, right? So one of the guys, his name's Patrick. He's like us. He's not a strategy person, and he said he played it, and he said, I applaud. Who is it? Fraxis, who produced it, because they turned a strategy game into something that's more tangible for a person who doesn't play strategy games. He loved it. He said, if you put this in at 10 o'clock at night, you're going to end up playing till 5. You get that hooked on it. So I am super. After that podcast, I was like, man, I really got to check out this XCOM. So I was talking to Tim about it too, and he's like, oh,
Is there a demo at all?
don't
There's
know.
got to be a demo. There has to be.
Yeah. There was a demo. It may still be up on the PSN.
I think it is. Yeah, I think it's on the PlayStation Store because I think I downloaded it and I never played it because I was like, I'm buying this game.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I downloaded it and never played. I'm like, yeah, I'll probably never play this. But now I'm super interested because that was the number one game for all of those guys were like, hands down, that's a great game. And number 2 was Walking Dead. I was like, okay, well, if they're putting that in front of one of my favorite games, then it's got to be good.
Yeah, I want to say that with XCOM, they made it a super accessible strategy game. It's really, I don't even think you could call it a strategy game. I think you could call it more of like a extraterrestrial war simulator almost kind of thing, because it's like you're the force that's against the alien invasion and stuff, but you're doing a ton of things. You're not just moving your guys on the field and stuff. You're actually doing like micromanagement of your resources and your money and engineering team, research team, like all this different stuff. It's like really engaging, but they make it really streamlined. Because I went back and I looked at the original footage, like from the original game, because I was like, it might be worth checking out the original game if I can pick it up for like, a couple bucks or something. I went back and looked at it and I was like, I ain't touching that at all. It's way more than I would even want to dive into. So
yeah,
this is way more accessible. Trust me.
Yeah. So I'm Gabe. I'm with you because I'm like, really? Should I? And after seeing, there's been a lot of hype, and it's kind of a sleeper. Like the sales of it haven't been as big, and you don't hear much about it because it came out right around the AC3 period, I think, right around that time, and it just kind of was there. Like it never. But man, now that it's been out, I just hear so many people talking about it, and that when I was listening to that podcast, I'm like, okay. Like these guys are heavy gamers. They know their stuff. I agree with a lot of the things that they talk about, and they're saying that this is like game of the year. I was like, wow. I'm like, okay, I got to check it out.
Man, I didn't mean to detour that too much. I was gonna say I've been taking care of my wife mostly since Christmas because she got her wisdom teeth taken out.
Ow!
Dang it! Yeah.
Ow!
So. Been taking care of her and just making her food and stuff. I moved the PlayStation into the bedroom when I was taking care of her, so at night I could play through the episodes of The Walking Dead. So I finished that.
And how'd you like it? Don't spoil anything. I'm still only on the second episode.
Gosh, no, I'm not spoiling anything because Gabe, you need to finish it, and then we need to have like a little 15-minute spoiler discussion at the end of one of these shows or something.
I agree.
Because man, we gotta talk
it's
about
good, huh?
it. It's wow, yeah. Oh, it's good. I thought about it a little right when I finished it. I was like, oh my god, game of the year. But after I sat and thought about it a little more, I was like, no, XCOM's really more of the game of the year material. But The Walking Dead, man, yeah, at a full retail price, it would still be an amazing game. So awesome. The game is awesome.
So you're saying it's a steal at $20?
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's a steal at $20. And they had it on sale on Xbox Live like a couple days ago, I think, for like $10. That was insane.
Yeah, they did. That's right.
I mean, that game is so engaging. I don't think it's a multiple playthrough game. I think it's you play once and however it ended up, that's how it should be kind of thing.
You know what, though? I kind of want to go back and save Doug in the first episode. You remember that we were talking about the people choosing Doug or choosing Carly and how so many people chose Carly? I think that's her name.
Have you played episode 3 yet?
No, I'm still on 2.
Oh.
And
you have a ways to go,
play
my
3
friend.
and come back and we'll talk about that.
Yep.
Oh, gosh. Don't
I'm not going to tell you anything, but play 3 and...
Yeah, keep going, man.
Now that I'm on the iPad, I have to go back and play through 2 again, just so I can get to 3.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I couldn't skip and just start at 3. But it's all good. I'm more than willing to play through it again.
I did that too because when I downloaded episode 4, it erased all my previous stuff, and that was one of the bugs that I think they had mentioned a while ago. And honestly, I wasn't like, oh man, come on. I actually was like, all right, let's just play it again. It's that kind
Exactly.
of a game. It's that kind of a game that I just was like, yeah, I'm happy to play this again, and I'll probably make a lot of the same decisions.
So wait,
Yeah.
what'd you finish it on? Did you finish it on PlayStation?
Yeah.
When you got to the end, like episode 4 and 5, you probably felt the same way I did. I'm just gonna ask, I guess. When I got to 4
I don't want to
and
listen.
5,
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear
oh
it.
no, this isn't spoilers. When I got to 4 and 5, I was like, my God, I wish I was playing this on an iPad. Because some of the aiming stuff got ridiculous.
Oh no, that didn't. But yeah, that probably bothers you more than me. It didn't bother me at all.
No, I'm saying like it got to the point where it was like, all right, well, shoot the zombie in the head. You got 1 second, go.
Right.
It was like, oh man. I was like, if I had an iPad, I'd just point at it and be done.
Yeah, that's true.
Or if you were inverted, you'd be able to take care of things.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
definitely started dying a lot there at the last couple episodes. So
Yeah, I did too.
Quick decisions.
Yeah, some of those quick decisions, you kind of have to be like, okay. I mean, they still give you a little bit of time to adjust to it and move your controller. But yeah, I did that. I did the exact same thing, Tim.
Yeah, that was nuts. But the game is beyond good. If you haven't played it yet, I mean, shoot, the first episode's free.
Right.
Play it.
Everybody play it.
I don't
Pretty
know.
sure it's free on
I don't know
everything.
why you wouldn't. I don't know why you wouldn't.
That's right.
Yep.
Hey, Gabe, we haven't even gotten to you yet, man. How was your New Year's?
Oh, it was great. We chilled out. We didn't do much.
Yeah, because you weren't on the road, right? You didn't have a New Year's Eve gig or anything.
No, I came in the day of New Year's Eve. Got home on the 31st.
Awesome.
The 1st. Leave the 2nd. So at least I was home for a second there.
Oh, that's good.
But we just chilled out. It was a good time. We went to one of our favorite restaurants, J. Alexander's, and ate way too much. And it was
What'd you
awesome.
have?
Man, you know what's funny? It's it's not upscale, but it's not Chili's. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
great. I love it.
Stony River. But I can't help but get the burger there, man. That bacon cheeseburger that they have is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's stupid
so good.
Okay, so here's the other
Anyway.
thing. I'm going to throw this out at you. Have you ever had their ribs?
No.
Okay, because I'm with you. It's like J. Alexander's, you kind of think more like burger or something like that. Holy cow, you have to try the ribs. It is amazing. Probably some of the best ribs I've ever had.
I ain't scared.
Oh yeah, right? It's so good. Like I can just use a fork and it just comes right off the bone and it's delicious.
Oh, kids and wives and ribs.
What'd you say?
I love it.
Kids and wives and eating food.
Exactly. I'm sorry. So continue. So you had a wonderful bacon cheeseburger.
No, yeah. And then just came back home, rang in the new year, and freaking went to bed like some old fogies.
Nice.
It was awesome. And played a bunch of Walking Dead in the bed.
Nice.
That's the best place to play it, man.
So I'm saying iPad, baby.
While
yeah.
you're like
iPad.
getting ready to go to bed.
Did you finish Hitman yet?
No, it's on the road. It's with the bus. So when I'm home, I only have my iPad. But I've been playing the mess out of that game. And it's kind of the same thing with Walking Dead. Like the replayability is, I think, huge because you can make so many different choices and the outcomes can be so different. And so I understand that maybe you don't want to go back and invest the time into something like that, but it would definitely be fun to go back and do a couple levels and be like, man, what should I do here? Because this is what I did last time. I could probably do this. I'll try to dress up as this guy and walk around instead of dressing up like this guy and walking around. You know what I'm saying? Because only people that you're dressed up like can recognize that you might not be them, if that makes any sense. So if you're in a hotel and you're dressed up as one of the house cleaning people, then the other house cleaning people are going to be like, huh? Who's that guy? Have I seen that guy before? But if you're dressed up as a cop, then the housekeeping people don't bother you. And so there's some outfits that are easier to walk around in on some levels than others. And so you could just kind of make it harder for yourself. But man,
I love that, man. That's
still,
awesome.
I think that game is really good.
Yeah,
Maybe I
can't
should
wait.
stay away from that game because for me, there's only one choice on every level.
Open the door and shoot.
But you can't always, I mean, of course, if you're a great shot, I mean, probably anybody can blast their way through whatever level, but not all levels are built to where you can do that. Like you're gonna just die like that on some levels, and so it's gonna be. But I think you could do that on most.
It's awesome.
It'll be fun.
Hey,
So-
like I said, I left a few people alive in Dishonored, so it's all good. I could probably do that too.
Exactly. Well, Tim Router, give us all the amazing releases for the 1st of January.
Oh, the releases are 0. There are no releases. In big red bold letters, no releases this week.
Yeah, let's go back to talking about food or something.
Yeah, right?
What were the new releases in food this week?
0 releases, huh? That's a shame.
Zero. But hey, you know what? 2013 is going to bring it, I hope, with a lot of good games coming up. So I'm excited.
Okay, so let me hit you with this real quick. You guys know the name Phil Fish? You might not. If you don't, I'm going to tell you who he is. He's the creator of Fez. And Fez is coming to some other platforms this year, 2013. So that's awesome. I was like, hey, I might be able to play it after all. He didn't
Did it say what it was coming to?
He didn't say what it was coming to, but I almost have everything else. So it's got to come to something I have.
I was pretty sure that was a Microsoft published game, so I don't think we'll see it on PlayStation, but we'll probably see it on iPad or something.
Exactly.
I mean, I could be wrong.
You might see it on the PC.
I got Google right here, but I ain't messing with it.
It might come to PC.
Yeah, I mean, it'll definitely come to PC, maybe Mac.
I got one of them.
There you go. Great things about that game too. I heard a lot of people talking about that.
Oh wait, Gabe, did you say you were getting it on PC, man? You got to update your drivers and you got to change your device settings and all that stuff before you play.
Yeah.
Really?
I don't know, man. It's on PC. I imagine you do.
Oh, PC hater.
Man, that
right
was like the lamest. Just forget I said anything.
No, that was good, Tim. Paul, that was good.
It's okay, Tim. We're gonna get you a joke book.
Yeah, you go.
Yeah, please, no Mac jokes.
And then another thing I saw that I was excited about because I've been playing it a lot is NBA Jam on Fire Edition is free again for PS Plus users on PSN.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, I saw that. Now we're gonna have a reason to all play it.
There you go.
Exactly, because it's free. I love that game. It's so much fun. And then another game I hadn't heard of yet, Chrono Vault for the Vita is free on PSN. They say it's a kind of a puzzle platformer with kind of a steampunk feel to it.
Hey man, it's a good thing we all bought into that Vita.
Yeah, right? Loving it right now.
Paying off, baby, paying off. That's a shame. I'm sorry, Vita.
I ain't mad at you.
And then
Vita, I'm sorry for you.
I am. Me too, Vita. I'll write you a get well soon card. Temple Run. You guys play Temple Run?
I love Temple Run.
A little bit.
I love it too. I used to play the mess out of it.
Yep.
It was downloaded 2.5 million times on Christmas Day.
Really?
That's so
2.5
crazy.
million. That's a ridiculous number. It was already at 100 million in August, but 2.5 million Christmas Day. And I thought this was really interesting. Because I was like, I think automatically you think, oh, well, of course, because a bunch of people went out and bought people iPads and iPad minis and iPhones and blah, 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 blah. Well, the numbers are roughly over 1 million on iOS, obviously, 500,000 on Amazon App Store, and then 1 million on Google Play, which is Droid, which I thought was really interesting that the numbers was that close between Droid and iOS.
Huh.
I wouldn't have thought that.
No, not at all.
I get it.
You think?
Let me tell you something. It's a beautiful looking game on an iPad mini.
Yeah, I was going to say I get it because there's 3 Apple devices and like hundreds of Android devices. So
Yeah,
I get it.
sure.
I mean,
No, I
because a
feel you,
lot of
but-
people probably got Android phones for Christmas. So.
Yeah, that's probably very true. But just because the numbers aren't even close, though, when it comes to the total amount downloaded for that game on the devices, like I don't know them off the top of my head, but I think it's like 60-something million on iOS devices
Yeah.
and like 30-something million on Android devices.
Did
So
it come
just the
out
fact
on
that they were-
iOS first, though?
Yeah, it did.
Okay, that could be
It did.
why.
But just to think that it hung with that Google Play hung with it for that day, I was like, man, that's pretty crazy.
Oh, no, I believe it, man. I believe we're going to see neck and neck iOS and Android for a while.
I hope so. I don't like monopolies.
Yeah.
I
It
love
also-
Monopoly, man. It's such a fun game.
No, I like
That is a
Monopoly.
great game. I'm with you,
I
man.
actually do
I like
really
that
like that
because
game. My wife can't stand that game though.
I like that because it actually helps these competitors push the limits, and so we benefit from it because one person does or one company does this, and then another company adds to that, and then adds this on top of it. So we get to sit back and just watch them hash it out, and we reap the benefits of it. So yeah, I'm with you. If Android's giving them a run for their money, then great. Then I hope iOS offers some more functionality that it currently doesn't have, but that Android users have, and vice versa.
Exactly. I like it. And plus I'm a Droid guy. So anytime I see Droid get a leg up, I'm like, yay for the underdog.
I'm just glad that Verizon's doing the hot spotting now. They give you that with your plan now.
Oh, good.
Yeah, because when I used to have a Android phone, I would just use the tethering app or something.
Exactly.
But now that the hotspot's included, I don't even have to mess with that stuff anymore. I heard that they released like a new tethering app on the App Store or something, and I was like, don't even have to worry about it.
Is
Don't
it
even
good?
care.
Is the tethering like reliable? Is the speed good?
Well, if you're using the tethering that's built into the firmware, it's always the best. Because
Awesome.
with like when I had the Droid phone, if you're using an app that's doing it, it's okay, but it's like
Yeah, it's hit or miss.
kind of janky.
Yeah.
But if you're using the one that's actually built into the device, it's great. So that
There you
goes
go.
for any phone. So
Right.
That's cool.
Timothy Hall. You got something for us, Jack?
man, I was just wanting to talk to you guys about what you looking back on like all of 2012, because there was some stuff that came out early in 2012 that we may have already forgotten came out in 2012. What do you guys think is
2012.
your yeah, that's right. Well, man, that's so weird to say that now because it's 2013. Weird.
I know. There's no way I'm getting used to that. Not for a couple months at
it's-
least.
Yeah, weird. But yeah, I mean, what are your guys' games of 2012?
Well, let me ask you this first. Can you name some of the games that came out earlier in the year that we might have forgotten? Because I know that I always get my years mixed up, especially because I flip-flop and play old games. Like, I beat Arkham Asylum this year, even though I know Arkham City came
I'm
out.
Googling that right now because when I said that, I was like, I wonder
Well,
what came out earlier.
Mass
this
Effect
year.
3 came out in March.
Yeah,
I
I
know
remember
that.
Mass Effect 3.
Yep, haven't played it yet. Haven't
Nope.
played it yet.
Yeah, same.
I'm trying to think. I'm
what
trying to
else?
think what other games I played that came out this year. I mean, obviously, Hitman.
Final
I'm
Fantasy
playing right now.
13 2 came out this year.
No way. Was that like January?
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, January.
I'm halfway
That's
through
weird.
that. I'm halfway through that.
Kingdoms of Amalur came out this year.
Yep.
Twisted Metal.
Nope, didn't play
Let's
it.
see. Azura's Wrath came out this year. That's weird. Mortal Kombat Complete. That doesn't really count.
Right.
Yeah, Mass Effect 3 came out this year. Hey, MLB 2K12 came out this year. Who knew?
Shocker.
Uh,
A
It
lot
is
of these
kind
are
of a
funny.
shocker.
BioShock
It is-
2 came out for Mac this year. So I guess
That
if
doesn't
you own
count.
it on Mac, technically that could be your game of the year.
There you go.
if MLB 12 did come out this year, it's a little bit of a shocker, only because everybody else released a 13,
Right.
like FIFA.
Yeah.
Oh, well, with baseball games, it's the year it comes out. Like MLB 12, the show came out this year. So
I got
But
you. I
yeah,
don't
you're
know
right.
anything
Every
about
other
baseball.
sport did a 13 pretty much.
Yeah, you got to stay ahead of the game like these cars, man. Cars, you don't never see the 2012 something come out in 2012, came out in 2011.
Hey, that's interesting. Walking Dead came out in April. I didn't even realize it came out that long ago.
Yeah.
Witcher
I
2
was still
came out this
playing games.
year. What's that?
Oh, sorry. I was still playing 2011 games. Like I was still knee deep in Skyrim January, February. I also played Uncharted 3 and what else did I play? Oh, and AC Revelations.
Yeah, man,
Those
I'm totally with you. I was playing a lot of 2011 games this year.
Yep.
And let's see, Max Payne 3 came out this year.
Man, that was not good.
Really?
Yeah,
As a Max Payne fan, because I played all the other ones, I did
Mhm.
not like 3 even a little bit.
Oh, wow.
That's interesting.
I redboxed it and went right back to the red box. I was like, you could have that.
Wow.
Hey,
And
Gabe's Sleeping Dogs came out this year.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
Sleepy Dogs.
Oh, heck yeah. Sleepy Dogs. And Hall,
Counter-Strike. Let's see.
Resident Evil came out, both Raccoon City and 6, so that you better go play those right away.
I think we'll put those as worst games of 2012.
There you go.
Yeah. Please. Now, by the way, Resident Evil 6 on sale at Toys R Us for $20 right now. Not even tickled. Not even a little bit.
No.
I feel nothing. So.
I got you. Did Journey come out this year? Journey came out this year, right?
Yes, it did. It was GameSpot's Game of the Year.
That's right.
It was Journey.
I may actually stop everything and play that just because I hear it's not terribly long, but I hear it's beautiful. I don't think I'm going to play it on a composite on an old school TV here. I may wait until I go home and play it in HD because all I've heard is that it is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, it looks amazing in HD. I couldn't imagine playing that on that bubble you showed me earlier.
Yeah, Gabe, I took some video. Actually, we FaceTimed, and I showed Hall. I was like, "This is what I have to work with," and it's just like a little 27-inch. And dude, it's that old school concave TV, so like it's this big old glass bubble basically. So I'm like, ugh, it'll be fun. I got to power through, man. I got too many games to play. I got to power through.
Exactly. All right. So what do y'all say? What do you say? What do you say there, Timothy Hall?
I wanted to hear what you guys had to say first.
Go ahead, Router.
Wait, what was the question?
What's your what?
I'm sorry, I
like
blacked
naming
out.
off all these games. What was your 2012 game of the year? You think you can name a couple of them?
Well, for me, it was Walking Dead, of course,
Okay.
and honestly, like that's really been the one game that I've just been super thrilled about. Now, like I said, I haven't played Far Cry 3 yet. I haven't played Journey. I haven't played Borderlands 2. So, those are all games that I'm definitely want to try and get to. So far, with the 2012 games that I have played, Walking Dead takes the cake, hands down.
I hear you, man. Like when I got through the other night when I finished up episode 3, literally I went straight to 4 and 5 right away.
It's a simple concept. It's easy gameplay. In fact, it's kind of archaic gameplay. But that's not the issue. The issue is that you are wrapped up in the story, like I am wrapped up in the actual TV series too. Because once you finish episode 1 and episode 2, like I couldn't wait for the next 2 months when they would release like episode 3 and then episode 4. Like it was one of those things where like, oh, when is this coming out? Like you could not wait for the next one. So you get that emotional attachment, and that's what's so stinking brilliant. It's like back to the basics. You keep it simple, you keep the gameplay simple, but you engage the user, and that's how you get them hook, line, and sinker.
Yep.
There you go. I like that.
Yeah, man. I'm all in with. I really, like I said, like Walking Dead would be my pick for game of the year for story. Because the story in the games that came out this year were, I mean, I guess it just really depends on the game you were playing, but as far as story is concerned, The Walking Dead had me gripped because of the story. The gameplay wasn't really anything special, but the story
it's not.
was
That's
awesome.
The beauty of it.
So
there's nothing special about the gameplay. It's simple point. Well, if you're on an iPad, it's just point and tap and you're done. But yeah, so Gabe, please hurry up and finish that game.
I know. I'll be working on it.
Yeah, Gabe,
again.
episode 3 will be a lot better on the iPad because there was like a lot of pointless walking around on the console versions.
Yeah,
So if
there
you're
is.
just pointing and clicking, man, that's going to be way better for you.
No, you still got to do like the digital analog, like the touch thumb stick.
You still have to
Swipe.
walk around like
Yeah,
in
it's
some
not
Yeah,
like
you
you
do-
just.
you do
It's
some-
not like you tap it and he walks there. Like you still have to like move your thumb around and walk around and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have done
It's not
that.
bad. It's definitely not as bad as a console though.
Exactly,
But
because your
it's-
thumb
yeah,
can be
it's fu-
wherever.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
okay. That's not too bad.
My
Yeah.
favorite game this year. Gosh, it's so hard to say because I'm with y'all. I didn't play a lot of. Oh gosh. I like so many different games for so many different reasons, and I know like Walking Dead would be an answer or Mass Effect would be an answer, but like when you go out on the fringe a little bit, like I don't know if this actually came out this year. Did you see Fight Night Champion on that list? that
I
come
think
out this
Fight
year?
Night Champion came out last year.
Ah, shoot. Because actually, for those games, I really liked that game, and I really liked the way it was laid out.
I really wanted to check that game out because they had the campaign on sale on PSN for like $5.
Yeah, it's good.
It was a while
I like
ago.
It. I like it a lot.
What's the premise? What is it? Is it an adventure
It's a boxing
game?
game.
What is it?
It's a boxing game.
That came out in
straight up boxing.
2011.
Shoot, dang, because I really like that game.
Release date March 1st, 2011. So
March 1st, 2011, it came out.
yeah, that was a while. Doesn't
Dang
feel
it.
like that long.
I'm a freaking old man. Time is just going by. That's what happens when you have a kid.
Yeah, it's. Yep.
I guess that's why my time goes so slow.
Yeah, there you go.
For
Man,
me,
I
it's
might
just
ha-
wives and 9 to 5s. You guys got the kids and wives and 9 to 5. So
Exactly. I mean, I guess I gotta say. I mean, I can't get up out of this Hitman. I'm telling y'all, it's
There you go.
good. It's really good.
it
And, I mean,
sounds good, man. I wish I would have gotten a chance to check it out this year.
and it's stressful. And I always love when a game or a television show is stressful because it means it's doing something to you.
Oh man, you're gonna love the last few episodes of The Walking Dead, man. They're really stressful.
Yeah, they are stressful.
So I'm gonna go with Hitman. I know nobody else said that, and it's probably got all kind of flaws that people find out of it. And the story's not super strong, but at least there is a story, and I feel like they did try, and they tried to connect the heart, which I don't think they did in a lot of Hitman games. But I think they tried to do that on this one, and I really like that about it. And so I'm gonna go ahead and say Hitman Absolution because that thing is the bomb.
But that's good for you because you've played a lot of the other Hitman games, so you've kind of followed this whole story. And
Yeah, all of them.
I haven't played any of them, so now I'm really excited to play this.
Exactly. Okay, Hall, you're up.
For me, it's like kind of a couple different categories of games, I guess. Like I said, for story, Walking Dead was definitely my favorite story of the year. And then like for RPG kind of stuff, like I really liked Borderlands 2, and I talked about that quite a bit.
Yeah, you did.
Borderlands 2, what they did right was they kind of repaired some of the story stuff that didn't occur in 1. So they kind of went back and closed some of the holes. I guess which made 2 really good. That's why I told Tim to play 1 first because he'd appreciate it more. And then yeah, XCOM, man. My overall favorite game this year was probably XCOM.
There you
And
go.
it was
There it
like
is.
one that I got like at the end of the year, so it's just interesting.
Nice.
I mean, I've wanted that game since it came out, so it's got it for Christmas, and it's all I played. I basically planned on playing XCOM and then going to something else, but no, I just played XCOM. So, I mean, I went to The Walking Dead later on because you can't really, even though XCOM's like not an action-oriented game, I like to play it on a bigger TV. But yeah, like with XCOM though, I sat down and I started playing it, and then they just kept playing that. And I was texting you guys about it too. I was just like, can't
Yeah.
stop.
Yep.
So
I love
And
it.
that's what they say. You
Okay.
can't stop.
Let me flip this on you guys real quick before we take this in for a landing. What was your biggest disappointment of 2012? Do you guys have one?
You know what? I hate to say this, but because, and it's not just because a lot of other people are kind of disappointed, but I think AC3 was kind of my disappointment.
Oh man,
much as-
no.
Yeah, No, as much gameplay as I played, I still will always like the Assassin's Creed franchise, and I may go back and play it again, but I don't know, there was just something about it. Like I think with all the hype and with what I saw at E3 and just like I think it just could have been so much huger and I don't know. It just the story was weak. It took too long to get into the story, and you were just doing all these missions back and forth. Yeah, I think I have to go with that one being my most disappointed. I'll still like it. I'll still probably play it again at some point, but it just seemed a little disappointing.
It was your Matrix 2.
It was my Star Wars Episode 1, I think.
It was your Jar Jar Binks. No, Connor was Jar Jar.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's awesome. Timothy Hall, how about you? Disappointment of 2012.
My biggest disappointment of 2012 was that Tim was disappointed with AC3. There you go. No, I'm
because you care that much for the man.
I did care that much because literally when I saw the first trailer, I was like, this is the AC3, like this is the Assassin's Creed game that I'm actually gonna care about. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Sure.
I thought the same thing.
I know that people like the game for what it was from 1 to 2 to Brotherhood to Revelations, but for me, man, like I've played a little bit of each one and could not get into it. I haven't played Brotherhood, so I do need to play that one, but like I've played a little bit of each of them and I'm just like, nah, it's just not, I guess it's just not my style of game.
So you had no gaming disappointment?
Kind of that the Kickstarter thing was a big deal this year. You remember when that happened earlier this year? Tim Schafer's company did that Kickstarter and then it made huge press. You remember that?
I remember you guys talking about it.
Well, the reason that it kind of got me mad was because I was like right after that happened, I was like, well, great, you're going to see a bunch of crappy games popping up on Kickstarter now. And sure enough, there's like a bunch of really crappy projects popping up on there because it's like, it was the hot minute. You know what I mean? Everybody had to jump on it. And now it's just, I guess it's just kind of coasting along, I guess. I'm not really sure what's going on now.
I think people are more skeptical.
Yeah, I mean, like people are coming out of the woodwork with some ideas, and they're thinking, "Oh, well, because it's on Kickstarter, I'll get help." But they're probably crappy ideas, I imagine.
Well, some of them might be great. You know what I'm saying? There might be a Fez in there.
Maybe
there
that's not something to be disappointed about. Then I don't really know.
Yeah, exactly. You're not giving the money.
Yeah, I mean, if I could tell them one thing, I'd say I ain't mad at you. So
there you go.
Of course you would.
All right, Gabe, what was your disappointment?
You know what? I think it's a tie between Black Ops 2 and Max Payne 3. Even though Max Payne 3 is way
Black
worse.
Ops 2?
I'm a story guy, and the campaign just was not as good as those other ones. I think they were trying to tell too much story, and so you're like sitting there for like, it felt like 10 minutes watching this cutscene, and you're like, this is a first-person shooter. Come on. Like, I don't care about such and such's dad and what happened in 85 and then jump into 2000, whatever it was that they have you jump into. And so it was just kind of like, I don't know. It just felt, and I haven't even gotten to play it online because I've been on the road, but I heard online is incredible. And I'm so happy for all those people that are playing multiplayer because I know
that's good.
There's a small amount of us that play the campaign. But for those of us that do, I just feel like we were a little disappointed because the story and all that. I was like, man, this sucks. So
I thought you were about to say the multiplayer had like a small following, like the multiplayer's got kind of a cult following, but
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I hope they're doing all right.
A $500 million cult following in the first week.
Yeah, they're doing just fine.
Exactly. Okay, I want to hit you guys with something, and then we'll get into the question, and we'll get out of here.
Okay.
I'm sorry to announce that Sony has decided to no longer they made this announcement. Don't shoot the messenger. I know my name is Gabriel. I was born to give messages.
Yes,
They're not
sir.
making any more PS2s anymore. I'm sorry.
Saw that.
I'm
Yep.
sorry.
No.
I know. I know.
Hang on a second.
I know.
No.
I was like, I didn't even know they were still making them. They were like, hey, we're not making any more. If after this shipment sells out, we're not making any more. I was like, y'all still making PS2s? I was like, that's crazy. I had no idea.
Sucks.
So anyway,
That would be hilarious if the last shipment got like hijacked like those Wii U's did.
Yeah, right.
that should have been my game of the year. Was freaking FIFA 13 on PS2.
There you go.
That's what it should have been. Okay,
That's awesome.
Router, you got the question.
Yes. Got an email in from Garrett Delosier. He's emailed before. Hello, Garrett. How are you? He writes, hey, gang, I got 2 1,600 Xbox points cards for Christmas. Other than Walking Dead and Journey, those are no-brainers. What are some XBLA games I should check out? Thanks, guys. Hit them.
Well,
what
I
do we
could
got?
save you a little money. Xbox points ain't going to buy you Journey.
No, you don't think?
Journey's not on Xbox.
Oh, it's not at all? Only
No.
PlayStation?
That's an exclusive, man.
Exclusive.
Oh. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. That sucks. Sorry, Garrett.
All right, so what else can we offer?
I said Fez and Super Meat Boy. Because those were big games.
Man, yeah, those are good.
Those are big games.
I think that would work.
Super Meat Boy's very frustrating, that's for sure.
I hear.
It's one of those games.
I hear. Do you have one for him, Mr. Xbox 360? Speaking of, I went over to my buddy's house last night. I'm sorry. And played on that freaking Kinect. I might be sleeping on that thing a little bit. We played that like Dance Central or something. He was like, we were just happened to be driving past and he was standing outside. He was like, you and your wife are coming in and playing me and my wife in Dance Central right now. I was like, oh man, I ain't never played this game before, but okay. And took my coat and shoes off.
It was a drive-by dance-off.
And waxed them jokers. It was the bomb.
That's awesome.
Patillos went home with the W.
That makes sense for Kinect, though. Like all the dance stuff. Like I've heard a lot of other games that integrate Kinect are horrible.
Yes, they are. I can tell you from experience. I have one.
That was good. Okay,
all the
sorry.
other games are stupid.
All right, so let's help Garrett out.
Their Kinect Party's free if you have a Kinect. I think Kinect Party's free. It might still be free. Man, there was like a crap ton of really good sales. I hope you got those sales. There was like Crazy Taxi was 200 points.
I got that one.
Skyrim was like $30, I think. All the DLC was half off.
Yeah, I mean,
there was like a ton of really good Xbox sales lately, but like I don't know what's really.
I would say if you
now.
want bang for your buck, Skyrim. If you haven't played it yet, man, you could put 90 hours into that game if you wanted to.
Yeah, I think the sale was yesterday only. I don't remember. They had Oblivion for $10, but I don't recommend it.
You're just saying.
Done.
Yeah, yeah, it was $10, but nah, don't buy that.
That's hilarious.
Man, I'm trying to think.
Sorry, Garrett, we're not helping you out much.
Walking Dead. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, right.
I hardly ever buy downloadable games on Xbox.
Why?
I don't know. I just don't really. I buy all my games on PlayStation, so
we're gonna have to talk about that sometime.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't help him out because I don't have an Xbox anyway. I'm a PlayStation person too. So,
I mean, Paul, definitely get the games that you can't get anywhere else. Fez,
definitely Fez. I think
what was
would be great.
Yeah, Meat Boy. You know, that's a great one. You can't get it anywhere else. But yeah, I mean, definitely Fez, Walking Dead, Meat Boy, can't go wrong. I hear that Mark of the Ninja is pretty good. I played the demo, but I didn't really like it. So
I've heard good things about. Yeah, honestly, that's one I have heard a lot of good things.
And honestly, like even like old games, like Shadow Complex. Man, if you don't have that yet, get that one. Man, that game is awesome.
There you go.
All right,
there you go.
Helpful one.
We've redeemed ourselves.
Oh, and Castle Crashers. That's a great one too. There you go.
Yeah.
Castle Crashers and Shadow Complex. Those are my recommendations.
I played Castle Crashers on iOS, I think. I liked it.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Anybody got anything else before we get out of here? Router, you got anything?
No, man, I'm straight.
Hall, you good?
Yep.
It's 2013, y'all. We gonna keep it moving. I am Gabe Patillo, always joined by Timothy Hall and Tim Router. You guys know where to find us. Facebook.com/Married to the Games, Twitter.com/MTTGcast, mailbag at Married to the Games. Help us help Garrett find some stuff on XBLA, because we don't know. We just throwing out some stuff, man. I think we gave him some good stuff, but y'all might have something better. So hit us up. Keep listening. Let us know what y'all think. We gonna keep it moving for y'all. 2013, here we are and here we come. And we about this thing. Peace.